What is going on, Alpha Hunters? Hope you guys are doing well today. Trying to get situated on the chair. There we go. Leaning back a little too far. All right. Um, if you're feeling a little hungry, if you could go eat some apple, some AAPL, I would appreciate it because that thing is killing it today. Apple's up 1.5%. That's off of a gap down of roughly 1%. Let's see where they actually gap down to. Oh, they gapped down 1.5%. So they gapped down 1.5%, traded a little bit lower, and they made it a little bit higher than 1.5% up on the day. They're about up 1.5% right now. Yeah, pretty interesting to see that. Pretty interesting. Um, Apple's probably the one stock today I would say that's really, really holding the market together. Because we're seeing a lot of red out there, really. And if you're just looking at the heat map, what's going on, Diet? Um, hey, I got some news for you, dude. I got off the phone a little bit ago with Lazy Boy guy, and I'm gonna go pick it up after live stream. So Lazy Boy 4000 is incoming. Anyways, anyways, I'll be sitting very plush later on. Um, yeah, AAPL man, probably the one thing. I mean, look at Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon, not really doing a whole lot. Nvidia down a little bit. So yeah, not a lot going on. A lot of red out there, but the one that's probably just holding the market together just enough is AAPL. And to me, it's really probably more of a selling bounce, selling buying action. It's kind of coming in today. I don't know really how to say that, but I'd be selling this. I'd be selling any kind of buying coming in on AAPL. Um, I'm biased though. I have puts on it. So, but it seems like a lot of people are just trying to flock to a safe haven. There's a lot of retail people probably trying to flock to what has worked previously, and I still think Apple's going to be the one that really crushes the market going forward. So, still not changing my narrative. My narrative. I was about to say narrative. My narrative and my thesis kind of on AAPL. Okay, but with how much buying kind of we're seeing today, if we don't see some pretty significant sell down, at least back to at least even, I guess, on the day, probably take out the high from Tuesday. I'd imagine, if not tomorrow, probably next week. So, but I was really kind of liking the SPY action today. I mentioned, I think yesterday and the day before, I was really wanting to see this kind of quick pullback into the 390 level, see what happens on the bounce. We're getting the bounce. We actually got to the lows of the three previous days. Go intraday and check that out. So we got, obviously the gap down, nice little buy up right to the lows of the previous 3 days or so. And currently that's where the market has stopped. Not saying that's where the market's going to stop, might continue to go higher, but this is kind of leading in really perfect, kind of what I was talking about the past couple of days. I wanted to see it come into 390, try to bounce at least, and see what it does. And I think, really, for the most part, excuse me, I really think for the most part, I think the market's probably done for the week. We might be a little choppy going into the close today. Maybe a little choppy tomorrow. Not to say we're not going to go up or down. I mean, we will. But I don't think it's going to be anything significant. And then as we kind of get to next week, it's going to be the real kind of telltale sign. Do we try to, bounce, make a run back up to the high that we had on this past Tuesday, 2 days ago? See what happens next week. Or, do we make a run, take out that high? Because if you're trying to be bullish, I would think next week you want to take out that high. You don't want to flick above it and come back down next week, but you want to get back above it. Maybe like 403, 44, something like that, 45. Get up above it. And that way, the week after, when everybody comes back from the long weekend or long week off, you at least have this 401 400 level as a support, and maybe it pulls back into it and continues to go higher. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. We don't really know. I'm kind of hoping we make a run, maybe up to like 399 over the next week, by next Friday, and then we roll over and go into the end of November. Pretty bearish. Let me port. What's weird is I don't know how to. Oh, there we go. All right. Hey, Diet, come on, guys. Can you see those comments? Did they get deleted? On my side, it says like the messages were deleted. Oh, cool. All right, cool. Good to know. Good to know. Oh, I'm just trying to click the right buttons. Anyways, yeah, I don't know what to really kind of think right now. I think it's gonna be kind of choppy. It's a nice little gap down today. Nvidia has had early bullishness. It's kind of just continue to roll over as the day has kind of gone on. Still holding on to the puts. The day has been a little bit rough on the P&L. Not really, just because that gap down was so nice. But Apple definitely has been not playing nice as it kind of just broke out into the positive territory, well ahead of everything else. The thing I'm really not liking about today is how much tech is leading, and obviously a lot of it's being led by Apple. AAPL. Obviously Cisco doing really good. So let's check out Cisco real quick. CSCO, they had earnings. Earnings look really good. Nice little retest lower today. Okay. Yeah, nice early retest, like in the first 5 minutes, and then it's kind of slowly grinded higher. So Cisco's looking pretty good too, but there's not a lot of other, really solid bullishness out there. Let me check Intel. Intel got bought up. AMD got bought up as well, and that was kind of the thing, right? We kind of were expecting that. A lot of the extension that was had, and then obviously the pullback, the quick pullback that we've had over the past 2 days, the gap down. People are going to try and buy the gap down as you're getting into the moving averages that are coming up. So, I mean, it's not unexpected. It's just a kind of it is what it is time. Definitely gonna have to see really how the market responds here over the next week or two. It's gonna be kind of crucial. Rose, how are you doing? Howdy. Yeah, just trying to see what's moving, what isn't. It's a big deal. Just run through the dollar and some of this stuff real quick. Dollar, early bullishness, kind of coming back a little bit. Okay. Let me look at that actually. Dollar DXY, SPY. Okay, definitely saw a lot more popping on the SPY as the DXY was rolling over. I was starting to break down here. That's interesting. Rates are bullish. Kind of coming into the low it had last week. So be kind of curious to see what happens now, I guess. Where's the simples? We're still pretty good ways away from the 100. Kind of getting close to this low that it had back in October, around the 3.6 area. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Rates might go higher. We'll see. There's been a lot of other Fed talk about some of the other Fed presidents from the other districts kind of just saying some kind of hawkish things like, oh, we're not really seeing uh, the rise of the Fed funds rate really kind of hurt demand as much as I guess some of the stats would say that we've seen. So maybe they're seeing something else, but there's definitely been some of that hawkish kind of talk coming out over the past. Definitely some this morning. There was some yesterday. So it's just kind of interesting. GLD, definitely a nice little pullback today. Gold is up, or as dollar is up. Gold is down a little bit. HYG had a nice little breakdown lower today. Obviously getting bought up just like the stock market. VIX, nice little upper wick. VIX definitely seems like it's going to come back lower. Probably snag this low. People are going to try and that's the other thing is like next week the VIX might really kind of drop. Market might not do much, but the VIX might drop just because of the market's just falling asleep. How did the Nvidia puts go? Well, currently still in them. Currently still in them. I'm liking really kind of what I've been seeing over the past. Outside of that first hour, that first hour opened down where the 157.50 level was, chopped around there pretty violently over that first 5 minutes, and then kind of went on a little trend over that first hour, and then it's just slowly kind of crept back down, which, okay, fine. I'm going to let it keep going. I'm going to let it do its thing. If it continues just to keep breaking down, then I'm going to let it probably just go into tomorrow, and I'll just eyeball it tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow. They do expire tomorrow. Yeah. So, yeah, just hanging out with the old NVIDIA. That thing's making me fall asleep, but, I'm cool with that. Make me fall asleep. I'm just kind of curious what we're going to do the rest of the day on the market. I don't think we're going to go really much more bullish. Apple has led the charge there, and it's getting a little top heavy in my eyes. It's already had a 3+ percent intraday move, so it seems like it's probably not going to. I'm not going to say the market's not going to go much higher. Apple's probably not going to lead the market higher for the rest of the day. So it's going to have to find it from somewhere else. Yeah, definitely liking this NVIDIA drop here. Nice. So let's figure out what is going on. Let's check the news. Housing starts and permits drop in October. Cool. That's good. I mean, it's good for puts. So I'm going to cheerlead my positions, Stock futures amid medley of earnings, data, and Fed speak. Oh, fall amid all that. Yeah. Yeah, that's. So, like this Bullard, the Fed hikes have had a limited effect on inflation so far. So, well, we saw CPI take a pretty good dip. And I mean, as far as like what they're wanting, they're probably wanting to come back a lot harder than what it has already. So, BBA is still rallying. It was a good setup when you first looked at it. Yeah, on Tuesday, when it was first brought up on Tuesday. Not Tuesday, Monday. Yeah. I think Sub brought that up. I think Sub's the one that brought up Baba. But he was kind of more talking about it for earnings. Right? He was kind of more talking about it for earnings, and just so happened Monday night, Tuesday morning, Biden and the U.S. president and Chinese president, they met and seemed all hunky dory. Had a cup of tea, and the market liked that, so Chinese stocks jumped. Kind of, to me, it just felt like it ruined the earnings possible play. Like, I just wasn't going to get involved in that. If it would have hung out for 2 more days, or Tuesday, Wednesday, if it would just went sideways right in here, I would have gladly have done that. But after it jumped on Tuesday, I didn't want to get involved. But yeah, that looks really good on the day. Man, nice. Up 8 points pretty much on intraday. Went from 76 up to about 84 currently. Peaked out a little bit over 85, almost all the way up to 86. There was reopening talk, real estate rescues too. Ooh, real estate rescues. It sounds like inflation to me. That's what that sounds like. Right. Yeah, I get it. In China. Yeah, because they got real estate problems. But the only way you fix real estate problems is throwing more money in it, like we did back in 2009, 2010. Right. So that's the only way you kind of fix it. You just keep throwing money into it, so it stops being a problem. So it just leads to inflation. Probably not inflation anytime soon, but probably inflation, down the line. And then, are people going to trust that? That's the other part. People got to trust that's going to work. That that's going to stop the real estate issues. So we'll see. Looks like we're going to see a little bit of a pullback here. Nice little consolidated top here, a little double top. Broke that down, kind of retested into the bottom end of that double top. Kind of got halfway into that double top area. And then rolled back over. So I'm not really think we're going to sell off really hard here. Probably just get in here, start buying around, chopping around, and push into maybe kind of where we are now, maybe a little bit higher into the close. And then tomorrow, I don't really expect much to kind of go on tomorrow. We're going into a week where the market tends to fall asleep quite a bit, so I'm not expecting much tomorrow and next week. Next week can be kind of directional, but it's just going to be really low volumes, and I don't trust. Typically, I don't trust whatever happens on Thanksgiving week in the U.S. Whatever the market does, usually coming out of it, the big fund managers, they come out and go the opposite direction of whatever the market did over Thanksgiving. So, yeah, Apple looking really good. First Solar's still pounding higher. It's really annoying. Check crude oil. Oh, crude oil breaking down hard today. Man. Crude oil looking like it's going to go make a run back down to the yearly lows that it had back in September. Okay. All right. Well, you go do it, man. A lot of things with the gap down today and getting bought up. So you're going to see a lot of green candles, but they're going to be negative on the day. Just a lot of things gap down like 1 to 1.5% today. So Exxon definitely seems a little topish. Probably continues to have a pullback here going forward. I don't really know how strong that'll be. If it keeps going sideways, consolidating sideways, it might continue to push higher. But I would imagine it probably sells down more than it does consolidate sideways. Chevron, yeah. ConocoPhillips, yeah, all about the same thing. ConocoPhillips actually up on the day. VLO, Valero, MRO, Marathon Petroleum, BP. Yeah, they all look about the same. Is it Oxy? Oh, Oxy? Yeah. Man, this thing hasn't done much in a few months. Man, that looks really good for a breakout higher. I don't know if it will. Man, it's been on quite a move over the past 2 years. Going from roughly $10 to $70 over the past roughly 2 years. Rose, let me know what you're looking at today. Anything catching your eye? AMD. What's AMD doing? See, AMD got bought up pretty good this morning. First 20 minutes and really hasn't done much since then. Just kind of very much choppy. Went a little bit higher. Looks like it's going to roll over here. NVIDIA, I like that breakdown. Good. Let's see. AMD, Nvidia, TSM. Is TSM pulling back or still being bullish? Still being bullish. TSM needs to have some pullbacks. AVGO, Broadcom. Ooh, Broadcom. Yeah, a lot of things look very similar. Early buying, and then now things are starting to look little broke back, broke back in Notre Dame-ish. Just rolling over a little bit. Booking profits, XLE, XOP. Okay. And XOP, were you bearish or were you long and you're just kind of like, I don't need to be long anymore. How long, like what was your timeline? When did you get in? That kind of stuff. Just curious. XOP, that's COP, XOP, oil and gas export product. Okay. Nice. Yeah, some of those oil and gas stuff. They were had really good runs from late September to that through October. Long, about a month or so last year. Okay, all right, very nice, very nice. Yeah, they look really good. Man, yeah, they look really good. Excuse me. All right, so I want to look at some of the inversions, yield curve inversions. I'm gonna have to turn off log here. We'll run through a few of these. Um, I was looking at some of these last night, just a bunch of different ones. Obviously, this is the 10 and 2 year one I kind of just mostly track, mostly just look at and see what's kind of going on there, especially since we did invert earlier this year. And just kind of one of those things, man. It is crazy levels right now. Just going back to a weekly chart, I'm just going to zoom out good ways. And you can see going all the way back to late 80s, the 10 and 2 year has never been this inverted. Never been this inverted. It is crazy. Broke down the 90, the 89 low, and the 2000 low. Obviously, you can see here the 2006, 2007 low we did not get as low as 2090 or 89. So just kind of interesting to see how much lower we are now than some of the major market issues that we had back in the day. So I'm just going to run through and look at some of the other setups out there and look at the 3 and 10 year. And this one did invert recently, and it's back to being positive. This one isn't really tracked all that much, but what you can see in just about all these we'll look at is they all got inverted. They have all been somewhat inverted. So just kind of interesting to see that. And obviously we got down to a level here recently on the 30 to 10 that we haven't seen really since the 2000. So that's kind of interesting. Let me see look at the 30 and 5. 30 and 5, same thing roughly. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting, really interesting. There is one out there that's super inverted. I'll probably wind up finding it, but I don't remember which one it was. I was looking at some of these last night. That's the one I mostly use. Let me go to the 6 month. Yeah, okay, here's one. Here's one. The 10 year to 6 month. Like that inversion is crazy. Now it doesn't go back all that far, which is kind of a bummer, I guess. So let me see what the 10 year 3 month looks like. Yeah, same kind of deal. All right. So, but I mean, they've just dropped off super hard here recently. Let me see what the 5 years. Did I miss the 0? I put in the 50. I don't need the 50. I need the 50. 50. Oh my gosh, the 5 year, 6 month, making a new low on an all time inversion. Looks like this week. Now, what I'm going to show off after this is kind of the way some of this lines out with potential toppings of markets or bear markets, or kind of like when we start to get real significant selling in some of these bear markets, what the inversion yields typically do. Yeah, very nice on that one. Let me get. Oh, let me look at the 2 year. This is it. It's the 5 year, 2 year. This is the 5 year, 2 year. Look at this. Going all the way back to late 80s. Like the lowest it's ever been. My gosh, that's crazy. Just crazy. So, yeah, that's definitely something to like. I don't even know what that means, honestly. I have no clue. Just no freaking clue. I'm gonna go with a clean chart here. I'm gonna turn on the SPX new price scale. There we go. I would do log, but I can't because it'll completely destroy the rates part of the graph. So just gonna have to bear with me here. Uh, so the interesting thing here is typically when we get these inversions, like right here, the yield curves are inverted. We aren't even really quite talking, or at the top of the market, talk floating around about the treasuries market freezing up. Yeah, well, that's because the Fed's not buying stuff. They're sucking out liquidity. They're not putting liquidity in like they normally have done. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I've been bearish this year. When they mentioned that the last year, it was about a year ago actually when they mentioned it, yeah, that they were going to start selling down their balance sheet, but they didn't do that until I don't think they started doing it until May, June of this year or something like that. And when they mentioned that, I was like, well, that's a huge shot to liquidity, and liquidity is a big reason why the market performs as well as it does. And when you take liquidity out, obviously you just open it up to much larger moves. So yeah, it's very interesting that that is the case. And I mean, who knows like how bad it's going to get or how bad they're going to let it get until they say, okay, no more. So we'll just have to see what happens. But what's interesting is when the yield curves invert, like back in 2000, well, that was like the top of the market. Then we were just kind of flat there for several months. But like here recently on the 5 and 2, like we have been rolling down even more. And the market's not really like we're not at all time highs. Like we were roughly at all time highs, back then. So, and then we didn't really get to going positive on the yield curve inversion. And then we started like really selling down the market, like really selling down. So I don't really know kind of how to take it other than, maybe this one is going to be a really bad market sell off and we'll have more of a market sell off. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like this where we sold down like back in '06 where we have a pretty good selling for a good part of that middle part of the year. And then we go back to all-time highs while the yield curve's inverted. And then the yield curve starts to go back positive, and that's when we get the bearish market to come in. So I'm not really thinking that. We need a shock to the system to trigger a capitulation event. Something it just scares the crap out of people. Yeah, I agree. And treasury market's freezing up, man. Here might be another thing is what is the exposure the financial system has to crypto? That could be another one. I mean, FTX, man, there's gonna be some fallout there, and we're gonna find out where all where all of the threads are that need to be pulled. So it's just kind of interesting how some of this like time lines out. Like we've already sold. Basically, one of the things I kind of noticed was we've already been selling down really hard on this market. Like we've been selling down as the yield curve has been dropping on the 5 and 2 here. And typically we don't do that. Typically we're still in a bullish market. You know, we don't actually start selling down until the yield curve inverts. It stays down there for a while, and then it starts to go back to the positive territory. It did that both in 2000 and 07. So I don't know. I don't know. Like we're well into a bear market, and the yield curve is still going negative. I don't know. That's about the best. I mean, I don't see the data. I just don't see the data to go back far enough to really like look at maybe 1960s and 70s. I'd really kind of want to look at that time period, but you know, it is what it is. You got to work with what you got. It'd be really interesting to see if this thing starts snapping back here pretty soon as we go into next year. The yield curve, at least the yield curve. Maybe it just goes silent here for the next couple of weeks. Doesn't really do much. With the premium version of TraderView, do the charts go back farther? No, you don't get extra time. Yeah, you don't get extra time like on charts data. What you get is more. You can use more indicators on charts, and right here. So you can get more indicators. You get 25 instead of like 5 and 10. You can have eight charts in one layout. 400 surface area alerts. You know, this is all the deal. Second base intervals. You know, some of the stuff I just don't care about. Like I wouldn't mind having more indicators per chart. But the other thing is, being able to put links in trade ideas. You can only do that as a premium. That even though that's not listed here. It's probably check marked down here somewhere. All the different things, but yeah. Premium's got a lot of features there. If it's worth it, if you're really using the system products, if you really need that, I would say majority of people don't need it, man. That's the other thing is majority of people don't need it. Like if you can't simplify your trading, then you're over trading. You're just overthinking it, in my opinion. Ooh, I don't want to see NVIDIA push up. I'm going to look and see what the value of NVIDIA is. So, got a $1.10. It's worth $1.60, roughly. I'm going to let it go for now. I'm going to let it go. AAPL, nice little sell down for about 15 minutes there. That's good. I really wondered, which one was it, SPY? No, it is AAPL. Yeah, AAPL had a nice little resistance there at 150. It's definitely paused there. Nice little flag pattern kind of came in here. Right before the breakout of 150. And then it broke out. And you saw a lot of volume kind of also come in there as it broke through that 150 kind of level. And then nice little head and shoulders kind of came in right here. And then it broke it down. So, yeah, it looks pretty good. Still liking it, man. It's just kind of annoying to see the one of the few things you're bearish on just absolutely rips it in a day. It's kind of annoying. All right, what we got? I got alerts. I don't need that going off. So Nvidia, man, if it kind of just closes about where it's at, definitely seems like it's going to go lower tomorrow. So yeah, I'm definitely not that worried now about it. I like a lot of the buying that. Oh yeah, especially that. Look at that green candle. If it can get below today's low, because that's where that green candle was. I mean, or not? Yeah, that green candle, but that green volume. Look at that bullish volume. That's a lot of bullish volume. So if it can get below today's low and take all those people out that bought there, I would dig that and just make people start selling it down even more. Hopefully that happens by close today or maybe tomorrow. I would like that. I'd like to see that. That'd be cool. Apple. Yeah, I don't even know what to think about you, man. Let's see. Where's solar? Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to get my head wrapped around what the market's doing. It seems like the gap right down to 390 on the SPY was kind of the bummer. That was kind of the bummer. I mean, it was like right on it. I was like, I don't want to see a gap right on top of 390. But it basically did. It was kind of the spot I wanted to see it pull back at. Just got to see what the bounce is like. You know, are we going to keep bouncing, go take out Tuesday's high eventually? Or do we kind of bounce and kind of flutter out and roll back over, start trading back bearish as we go into December and the new year? All right. What else we got? What else is out there? Ooh, this sucks. Talking about going from investing and sponsoring to now you're getting sued because the FTX was a Ponzi scheme. That stinks. That's another thing Brady didn't need on his season, man. Jeez. Ooh, yeah, I saw this. JP Morgan expects a category 1 economic hurricane. So a cat 1 or like is that like their highest level or do they expect like a full on cat 5 maybe? Or do they have like a cat 5 level? I wonder what a cat 5 level for economic hurricane would be. Wait, what? I'm curious on what company he's betting on or betting against. That's He revealed a new stake in the home shopping channel owner. Okay. 7 investors. Blah blah blah. Yeah, he owns Geo. We know that. Blah 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 blah. Get the heck off my screen. What most people tend to forget is that the other side of the mortgage collateralized obligation was prestigious investment bank Goldman Sachs. Okay, whatever. Like, are you literally not going to say the one company that was in your headline? A mysterious bet. 13.48% of stocks closed above their 200-day moving average yesterday. Said on Twitter on October 1. Bottom in 2009 was 1.2%. Bottom in 2020 was 2.8%. Currently at 2007 levels. Interesting. XLY weak thanks to Tesla and Amazon. Yeah, let's check out. Let me see if I can find this company because I was kind of curious to bring up the ticker if he's got it or if this article's got it, and we'll look at XLY XLP. He resumed, blah blah blah. He bet on Aerojet Rocketdyne, Charter Communications, blah 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 blah. Until the which suggests he's also bet big on the collapse of either a company stock or the fall of an industry or even an asset class. You have no idea how short I am. Yeah, I saw that. The tweet has since been deleted as it. Yeah. Oh, dang it! Clickbait got me. I feel duped. I literally saw this the other day. Uh, Burry had liquidated the Alpha Meta Platform shares he held in the second quarter. Yeah, all right, whatever. I feel duped. They got me. They got me with this clickbaity article stuff. All right, XLY, XLP, huh? XLY. Yeah, I did see Tesla was trading. Let's check Tesla. Yeah, I saw Tesla was trading definitely lower earlier. Not. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of expected, right? It had that breakdown. Was that 2 weeks ago, really? Yeah, we just kind of mentioned it, any kind of retest into these levels around that 200 area is now going to be that resistance. So I just retest or, just go bearish on that retest. I was kind of surprised it retested, well, I guess that broke down. Was that last week? Yeah, that was last week. So, yeah. So it retested early this week. Okay. Just kind of made sense. And then what was Amazon doing? Down 2%. Amazon I saw earlier was really sluggish. Yeah. Keeping it going. So, all right. So then XLP. We'll check the XLY. So XLP is down roughly 0.5%. XLY down, down 1.7%. Interesting. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. I'll do a little ratio here in a sec. Wow. Check Visa, MasterCard. Okay, so XLP, XLY divided by XLP. So we get this nice little ratio, and obviously we can see late last week, it had a very strong move higher. The ratio between the two. Whenever you see bullishness in a marketplace, XLY is going to outperform XLP. So that's when you get, the XLY and this ratio starts to go higher. But obviously for most of this year, we've seen XLP outperform XLY. So that's why you're getting this ratio to go down. And not to say that XLP stocks aren't falling, or not to say that XLY stocks aren't going higher. It just means whatever direction they're going, XLY, if this ratio is going higher, is outpacing XLP. If this ratio is going down, XLY is outpacing to the bearish side faster than XLP. Okay, so that's basically all it says. But it's just kind of interesting that's we saw a quick uptick late last week, and it's basically almost overtaken almost all of that roughly, or at least half of it. It's definitely done at least half of it. It had a little blip of a breakdown to a new yearly low last Tuesday, Wednesday. So it took out that May low, and might just go right back down to selling down, because it definitely got ahead of itself. So we saw a lot of rallying. And that makes a lot of sense, right? We saw a lot of rallying last Thursday, Friday in what area? Well, it was a lot of those tech stocks, right? And that's where a lot of the XLY is, right? Tesla, Amazon, and some of those others. So, yeah, very interesting to kind of see that XLY is getting sold back off. And Apple is now... Ooh, come on. Break that down. Oh, break that down. Oh, look at that. Right here at the bottom of this flag pattern before it broke out higher, AAPL broke that, and there was definitely buyers sitting right on it. sitting right on it, right at like 149.61, basically sitting right there. See that volume on that breakdown. But still, want to see some more bearishness. I think we'll be bullish a little bit tomorrow, but kind of like today, it's just kind of just running out of steam. I think we'll probably see a little bit of that, just slower grind higher tomorrow. Close somewhere in the middle of the 390s, in between 393, 397, somewhere in there makes sense to me. And then as we go into next week, yeah, Friday. Well, the day after Thanksgiving, like that Friday, is usually like a dead day. Like there's almost no movement, and then because it's a half day, nobody comes back for a half day. Everybody typically stays gone on that Friday. I don't know why they open the market half day on that Friday, but they do. And then yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you can see some activity. And if you're gonna see any activity next week, it's usually gonna be like Monday, Tuesday. There's usually not much activity, even though Wednesday is a full day. There's not much activity typically on Wednesday. So I still don't think we'll see much. If we do see much, probably going to lean a little bit on the bullish side. Because retail investors, my sentiment right now is the retail investors are a little bit more bullish. In my eyes. And that's typically the investor that'll be involved on next week. Yeah, XLY though. Whew. That was a day right there. XLK. So XLK is negative. The Qs are more negative. Kind of interesting the Qs are that negative. MDY tested downtrend, SPY retouched 200 day EMA. MD Spider midcap, huh? What's do you know what the small cap is, Rose? So I'm gonna add this to the list. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna add this to I need to start filling out this one. This is the list I need to start filling out. MDY. Perfect. I do want IWM on there, so I'll start doing that. VB, what's VB? Bank futures, or no, Vanguard small cap ETF. Yep. Oh, and SPY, obviously. SPY, and then I'll work on that. But I want to add in basically all the spider sub sectors. I want to add that into this list. That way I can have a comparable list. I can kind of just quickly come over here and look and see within what sector things are working. Oh, man. I just probably should just change this name. I don't day trade as much anymore. I should just change that name. I'll do that some other time. Looks like SLY for Spider Small Cap. SLY. Yes. Yep. As soon as you typed that, I was like, yes, that is it. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't want to trade the SLY. I know you're talking about the liquidity. Yeah, I don't want the Vanguard one. I just want to be able to track. Basically the different ones. Dang it. DIA. There we go. Okay. Put that there, that there. There we go. So yeah, we're definitely seeing some small caps not performing as well today. Mid caps definitely not performing all that well either. And that makes sense because looking at the IWM earlier, right? IWM has not really had the bounce that a lot of the other indexes had. The DIA had a pretty good bounce, and a lot of that DIA is going to be held up from AAPL. AAPL just super strong in the first half of the day. It's super annoying. Just wonder what it was. 220. I'm still on my clear. Yeah. Nice little gap down there. I don't like it. I would because it's to me it's a really sharp kind of pullback. I would have liked a little bit more of a sideways kind of pullback, like Apple. Kind of like this time frame. I like these kind of pullbacks where it's just more gradual sideways, and the moving averages finally come up, catch up, and push it higher. But you get to that, yeah. You get to those ones that are just too steep like that. To me, these are momentum changers, big time momentum changers. And not saying that they can't go higher, right? But it's that is because now you got to get momentum back in your favor to go higher. And in a market where we've already been bearish for most of the year, that's gonna be tough. It's just tough. If we were in a bullish trend still, I'd be okay with this. Oh yeah, rejected. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Nice. Yeah. Did that back in August too. Broke down. Ooh, look at that breakdown in November. Breakdown in November into December, bounced, kind of got right to the 200, rejected off of that, and that's when it got crushed off. What is the yearly low? That low right there, 162.50. This is the yearly low right here. This day, October 13th, that Thursday. Took it out by 28 cents. The trend is your friend. Use the 200 simple moving average. Yeah. Yeah. Are you quoting that meme? Is that what you're quoting? Enron has a rough day every day. Do you know Enron's still a business? If you didn't know that, they are still a business. Yeah, I figured you were that. Oh, I need to give a shout out to you, Brad. You posted. I'm gonna see if I can find this elsewhere, but you posted this the other day. Let's go move. Where's that post? No, sorry, wrong. Where is it, man? Where is it? This one. If you can't read that, I'm gonna go find it. But it's basically just talking about how CBOE changed options this week, and they now have weeklies that expire Tuesday and Thursday for a rolling 2 weeks out. Okay, so I'm gonna go find this article, kind of look at that. And the market used to have. It was really kind of funny. We were talking about that. I think last week or the week before about. Doing away with the 6 months of option or the 6 weeks weekly options. CBOE, SPY, Tuesday, Thursday options, something like that. There it is. So basically, starting this week, they're gonna start to see Tuesday weeklies and Thursday weeklies on the SPY and Qs. Scratch out the IWM. That's not happening. And to confirm that, I can actually pull the broker. But this is going to be big deal when we get to a bull market and we're selling options every day. That way we're going to be rolling them every day. Just theta kicks in. Oh my gosh, the amount of money to make every day is crazy. This was best news of the year. Out of everything that's gone on this year, all the correct trades, this was the best news of the year. This is big time. I need to actually put this out in the market outlook video. I'm going to post this in the Discord real quick. Tuesday and Thursday options. Okay, but the other thing that kind of came out of this is they said they were removing currently the SPY, Qs, IWM, Monday, Wednesday expirations have 5 expirations listed as a result of moving to only maintaining 2 expirations beginning November 10th. So basically, it's going to be a 2-week rotating weekly options, right? So today, if you're on Wednesday, then 2 Tuesdays out, then those will pop up. At the end of Wednesday, as you go to Thursday, 2 weeks out, those Wednesday ones will pop up. So let me pull the broker over because, this is really important to know what tools we got at our disposal. Yes, you can be absolutely as dumb as you want, Brad. Every day, man. Every day. I mean, I'm as dumb as I am every day or in bull markets I am because I'm always trading 0 day to expiration options, but I'm selling them. I'm never buying them, right? So obviously the 17th is Thursday, 17th Thursday. So those are going to roll off today. Then we have tomorrow's Friday, Mondays. Then we have Tuesdays, the 22nd. Then we have the 23rd, Wednesdays. We have no 24th because Thanksgiving, 25th. And then the following week, the 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, and December 2nd. So I don't know when they actually put it on because I'm actually kind of surprised to see the Thursday one already on there. December 1st, right? Yeah. So I guess whenever you roll over to, like today we got Thursday, that's when they add in 2 weeks out, that Thursday. Then you can see the week after, December 5th, 7th, 8th, December 5th, December 7th, December 9th. There's no Tuesday and Thursday options in there. It's every other day because these have been in the system that long. They said they're no longer going to add the 6 weeks out weeklies anymore. So we're going to see these weeklies are going to be the last time they're going to be 6 weeks out. And then as we get closer, they're just going to fill in the Tuesday, Thursdays. And then sometime when we get to like the end of December, we'll look probably again at this and see kind of how it's really going to look as we go into January. Really what it looks like. But right now, we just still have a lot of weeklies out there because they're not going to take them away. They already posted them. So, yeah, I'm kind of glad they're doing that. I'm glad they're doing it every day for 2 weeks instead of every other day for 6 weeks. I'd much rather have it every day. I mean, they look at it as, there's more volatility or there's more volume traded on the 0 day to expiration options. So let's just get rid of the every other day. They make more money. Everybody makes more money. That's what they try to do, man. They're not in it to pick a direction of the market. They're there to collect fees. That's where they make money. They don't care what direction you want to go. Nvidia just kind of hanging out. So I'm gonna hard stop here in about 5 minutes because I'm gonna go pick up my Lazy Boy 4000. Be sitting real plush later on. So let me know real quick if there's anything you want to look at. We'll take a look at it. Other than that, I got nothing. I do think it's gonna be a pretty quiet day tomorrow, and then I think volume will be light going into next week. For the week, I don't foresee a whole lot of movement. Cushions of cash. Cash is hard, man. Screw that. I ain't gonna sit on cushions of cash. Cash is like bricks. Scrooge McDuck. Nah, man, that's those. He's got that tower of gold coins, right? He just swims around in gold coins. It's so funny. I miss cartoons. I miss my inner 6-year-old. I have my inner 96-year-old in me now. Get off my lawn. Stop playing with my dinghy. It's the swimming pool of gold, yeah. As long as there's no golden showers, it's fine. Oh, man. Apple getting back above that 150. The more times it kind of trades through whatever kind of support and resistance level like that, the less the market kind of deems it important, right? Because it clears out the importance of it, right? Just kind of get through there, keep wicking through there, clears out all the orders. Anybody thought is important, it's not important anymore. Because then people start putting stop losses above it and below it, and no longer winds up being important. So 150 might not be as important really as much going forward. You might see some pauses there, kind of like how we did this morning, right? We saw a pretty good pause there for about 30 minutes. Quick push up, pause there, nice little flag pattern, then push right through it. But yeah, what's the VIX doing today? Okay. The VIX is currently at 23.89, so it's even lower. And we've kind of been selling off even a little bit more. This would be kind of nice. I'm not going to lie. This would be real nice if the market kind of is a little bit more bearish or sideways. And next week, as we go into the end of this week and next week, if the VIX just falls. Gosh, that'll be nice. If we do that on the VIX and the SPY does not take out this week's high on Tuesday. Does not take out Tuesday's high. That would be really awesome. That would just be fantastic. UVXY still drifting down. UVXY. UVXY is still drifting down. Interesting that UVXY is like way down here. Just comparing the VIX to that. Because UVXY is kind of back down at these lows. Back at the August lows for the VIX. That's real, man. That thing got crushed. So you can definitely tell that there is some discrepancies, we'll say, between the UVXY and the VIX. Which is one reason why I don't trade them. I'm not saying you can't trade them. I know people that have good strategies around trading on the VIX. Yeah. Ugh. All right. I need to wake up. I'm going to leave NVIDIA on. I'm going to leave it going. I will, if I do take this off, I'll put a message up in Discord, but I don't think I'm going to have to take it off until maybe tomorrow. Definitely re-examine this tomorrow. That's the only thing I have expiring tomorrow. Everything else is out for next year. So I don't really have much out there. Really kind of missed out on BABA this week. Oh, that's a real bummer, man. That was real nice, but I'll check in on Nvidia tomorrow, guys. Y'all have a great one. Halfhunters, definitely appreciate y'all being here. Not a lot going on. It's going to be pretty quiet here, probably for the next 2 weeks until we come back from on the other side of Thanksgiving. But I definitely just want to see how much the VIX is be falling every day. I want to be seeing like what things are rotating. So, but definitely still homework to be done. And y'all have a great rest of your day. Alpha Hunters, y'all take care.